We knew he was good. NFL, let's see. Falcons drafting Penix Jr. is questionable.
I mean, I see arguments for it, and I see arguments against it.
Let's just think about this as a multi-billion-dollar business. Tell me what you're doing. This is the Dean Dragons.
Well, they thought, most people said, you definitely get Dallas Turner. You get a rusher. You need help on defense, and you don't. And from what I read, the Braves, the Falcons have the worst draft grade of everybody, all 32. But they did get Penix. Now they got Cousins and Penix.
But
they got two good quarterbacks.
Okay, guys, here's the thing. Now, there's things happen behind the scenes that we don't know. I'm going to play devil's advocate a little bit.
Yes.
Maybe, Jeff, what if Penix was just not in the room there and they may have had some thinkings of maybe what if the Jets wanted him or something, because maybe he could back up Aaron for a while. What if they were wanting to try to get him, or what if the Chargers, may have wanted to, because the Raiders still didn't wind up getting a quarterback. They're going to have freaking Gardner Minshew. What the crap are we
I know. And they got Bowers. They got Brock Bowers.
So maybe they thought, because just unmanaged areas, that they didn't do very well. Atlanta, they're higher up. They're office people. Oh, we'll never get him. Oh, dang, man, we got to strike on this Cousins deal right now. Well, let's just get him.
Yeah.
At least we know we'll have somebody.
If Cousins goes down.
If Penix, well, they want to get Cousins right now. And then we're never going to get Penix. We're never going to get him. He's going to wind up. We'll never get him. Then all of a sudden the deal comes through and they're like, crap. Oh, wow, we may be able to get him. Well, gosh, what do we do? Not take him now? Do we take Turner and leave the quarterback to go, I don't know, to play at San Diego or somebody? Or because they're not going to let's see, the Chargers are, well, they're in the same division with the Broncos, but I mean, now they wouldn't. What I'm saying is they're not like they're going to meet the Chargers. The Falcons wouldn't until they play the Super Bowl. So I think that this was mismanaged a little bit.
Well,
I don't think it was on. I don't know if that they. I'm just saying I don't think they set off and went, you know what, we're going to get Cousins and we're going to get Penix too.
No.
I don't think that's what happened.
It's just something that maybe come up.
I think they were like, we need a quarterback, get Cousins right now. And then they found out later, holy crap, we may be able to get Penix.
Well, their second round pick is an edge rusher. Maybe they know something about him that we don't. Maybe he's fantastic and we don't really know it. And they did get 2 D linemen too. So they got their needs. They just didn't get them when people thought they should have. They wanted them to get Turner.
Yeah. So who's some guys that took some bad turns in the draft, like besides the Falcons? Who else kind of flubbed?
All right, I got all that right here. Carolina, they said they were one of the worst. They did get Sanders, the big tight end from Texas, and they got Texas, the running back from Texas, Brooks.
Yes, I like him. Boy, I like him.
But outside of that, they did not do well.
Okay.
They did not do well. Others, Detroit did not do well, but they did get 4 DBs. Their number one pick was a lineman. Nothing wrong with that, but they just didn't get a lot of skills. The Jaguars didn't do very well. They got LSU's other receiver. Malik Neighbors was their main receiver.
Yep, he's good.
And they got Brian Thomas Jr.
Which he didn't go to the Jaguars. Neighbors did.
No, Neighbors did. No, Brian. And they got Texas backup running back. But other than that, no skill. And the team that did the worst.
It's the Falcons.
Well, no. Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, Jerry's just not – he's not impressed me. I'm done with him.
But they said they did fill their line needs.
Well, then they're okay. But I'm
but
just
not their skill needs at all. Not even close.
Well, I ain't never – I've been done with them for a long time, man.
Well, and I will say this. Detroit probably didn't need a whole lot, did they?
Well, here I'll start backwards. The team that I felt like that that were Detroit, they did get a good spot here. They got Terry Arnold for Bama.
Yeah,
he's a solid second team, maybe first team.
Well, they loaded up on DBs now,
right? I mean, he's not All American. I don't think.
No, but he's good.
But he's a solid 4-star guy.
Yes,
and I think he's a good kid. I really believe he'll come up there, and I think he'll put in the work. He's a nice young man. I've seen him do a lot of podcasts, and he is funny.
Yeah.
He keeps up a lot of energy in the locker room, and those things are worth something.
Yeah,
they are worth something.
So you like Detroit's?
Yeah,
draft.
I like them. Yeah, they'll be okay. I mean,
they just didn't tear it up. No, don't get me wrong. None of these teams did terrible. These are just the ones that didn't do.
They didn't do real good. But now let's think. Now Detroit, of where they played last year in the playoffs and where they got to, what do they really need?
I don't know that they had a ton of needs.
Yeah. I think this D-back room will help set them up to get back in a deep playoff run again.
Yeah, I agree. 4 DBs.
Now the Eagles get another DB. They took one of them. This Mitchell guy, he is you need to look him up. He played at Toledo. He's one of the top DBs in the country. Don't think just because he played at Toledo he's not good.
No.
I'm telling you, they thought that about Jerry Rice too.
Yeah, Mississippi Valley.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping the Falcons think about this edge rusher.
We'll find out. So Mitchell, D-back guy, the Eagles can pick up a good one. The Jets pick up the fashion guy. He's an offensive tackle, he's Penn State offensive lineman. Okay. Now, if he's Penn State offensive lineman.
I had a hard time pronouncing a lot of the linemen that got drafted.
You know what he looks like.
Oh, yeah.
6'10", 330. I mean,
huge.
Yeah. So the Jets take care of some needs there. Lions, Eagles, Jets. Giants, get them the quarterback, this Jones kid, to come in. But the big pick is the neighbor's kid to go into the Giants wide receiver LSU.
Oh, that's huge.
He is a dog.
That's huge. He's as good as it gets.
As good as it gets. And also the Worthy kid from
Well, I like that, man.
Texas. Yeah.
I like that. To me, and we won't get into this, that was my favorite pick because of who he's going to be playing with. He's going to be playing with Mahomes.
I know.
And I don't know if y'all know this, but Holmes, Kelsey's his main receiver. But that Rashee Rice wrecked his Lamborghini the other day racing and left the scene of the accident.
He done.
So he's probably going to be suspended for a while.
Yeah.
Worthy could slide in there.
And he's good, too.
He's very good. We saw what he could do.
Yeah, he torched Bama several times.
Yeah.
And not a surprise here. I want your thoughts on this, too. The Vikings making some big picks. They get Turner from Bama. They get playing defense. They're going to try to make a push this. They're going to get him a quarterback. They got Michigan's McCarthy. Now, McCarthy.
That was kind of.
He is a McCarron kind of manages games. Let me tell you something, guys. You know, McCarthy has only lost like 3 games in his life. I mean, his whole life since he started like in ninth grade
like
football.
Ace Austin.
Yes. I mean, he's that 9th grade freshman that they just never lost. At some point, you got to just count that he's a winner. He wins. Is he going to shoot the place lights out of the place? Is everybody going to just ooh and no? But
I was shocked by it.
But he's going to win.
But obviously, he had a good pro day.
A good pro day. Dude, he's like an 80-some percent QBR proficiency guy, 88, 89%.
Yeah, I was shocked by it, but they know more than we do.
Well, here's the thing with this team. What did he really have to do? They played great defense. They had all them 5th-year seniors come back.
Right.
He didn't have to do it.
He didn't have to do it.
And let's give a little – I'm sorry, Jeff, but we're going to give a little acknowledgement to Furball. Yeah,
their defense.
What up, Zach?
They give up 300 yards, less than 300 yards in 2 playoff games.
So you got to give tips off to Furball for being a good coach. He put together a good team, and he's also going to put together a good pro team here at San Diego. So let's just give the Vikings a chance, see how he does in the old purple. Let's see how McCarthy does. They're going to have him defense end for Bama. The Bears pick up number 1 pick overall. I've never been a fan of Williams.
Good picks.
Yeah, and they picked up Dunza from Washington.
They got Dunza and Williams. Oh, they are turning flips up there in Chicago, aren't they?
Well, the crappy teams get the better picks now, and then of course Joe Alt. They got a big time the Chargers because this is what Furball's going to do.
That's what their need was.
The big Notre Dame guy. He's going to build a team inside out. He knows what he's doing. If you like him or not, I'm not a big fan of his. I like his brother a little more.
Yeah, I think his brother's
more personable.
His brother seems to know the whole game.
He tries to
defense, offense, special teams, everything.
Jim seems to be a little more. I need you to see me.
Yeah. Oh, John don't care.
And he just like I'm just coaching football.
Yeah.
So back to the Bears.
Wow, Bears.
Are you a Caleb Williams fan? Watching him play last year, you did watching him play. Did you go, holy crap, man? Did you see USC play yesterday? He is awesome.
I thought they kind of packed it in last year.
I don't remember you telling me that at all.
No.
I'm not a fan. I'm just not. I don't think he's that good.
I understand.
I mean, I can't help how I feel. I'm not a Quinn Ewers fan either. I can't help how I feel.
Yeah, no, you're not a Quinn Ewers fan. And Ewers, I mean, I'll say this: Ewers' best 2 games both years have been against Alabama.
Yeah.
In the other games, he's not done as well.
I just don't see it.
Well, what do you think about
Odunze?
You got Odunze and Williams,
but if they don't,
they're both rookies.
But the Bears, if they don't have an offensive line of sorts, you've got to run the football and play. Guys, the game of football is always going to be. Now I know you can have these high flying offenses places,
right?
But you got to be able to run the ball and you got to play defense, right?
You got to
always. So is Chicago going to build them a line, and how's their defense going to be? Those are the things that I'm thinking.
I think their defense is okay. Line's probably average. Well, what do you think about? Oh, did you want me to go through these?
Yeah.
What do you think about? I loved it because I love him. Daniels going to Washington. I won't go through all these.
Yeah, Yeah, we want to know LSU, Bama players, where all the Georgia players went. We can talk about all them because people are interested in that. People that don't even really like pro football, they still want to know where.
I got to ask you some questions.
They want to know where some of their guys went, and they may not watch a lot of NFL football, but still, people want to know where Ladd McConkey went. But Jaden Daniels, Heisman winner, LSU, he's a heck of a young man, a good football player. I think he'll do fine there. The thing with Washington is, I've always worried about their upper management, man. When you change your name,
it's not real
from the Redskins to Commanders because you're being pushed by a bunch of pansy groups because you think that's the right thing to do. And you're going to push you around, tell them to kick rocks and eat dirt. I'm not changing the name. We did this in homage of these people.
Yeah, right.
We did it in honor.
We're not making fun of
I'm
them.
not changing my name because you don't like it. Then I'm not buying tickets. We'll cancel whatever you feel like. So that bothers me a little bit, but I hope he does good because I like him. I think he's a good player.
What do you think about Made in New England? Or they just give up on Mac? Well, Mac Jones is gone anyway, but Bailey Zappi, they're just done with all those guys.
Well,
they got a new coach too.
Yeah, Darth Vader's gone. They got the new
Gerard Mayo.
Mayo is there. He's the new coach. I don't know. I'm a May fan.
I didn't see May play a whole lot because we just don't see North Carolina football a whole lot. But I thought that was. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not 100%.
I hope it goes good.
Now, I love this 4th pick, Harrison to Arizona. I think he will revive Kyler Murray's career.
Yeah,
he's great. Marvin Harrison's fantastic.
That's a big move for them. They're going to spend some money and look for them to try to. They're going to keep some money. They're going to try to keep some money there and build this team.
J.C. Latham from Alabama. We already talked about neighbors and all going. J.C. Latham went to the Titans. Wow, I did not know he'd go in the top 10. I did not think
he's a dog, man. He's a fence post mover.
And we've talked about Penix, Odunze, McCarthy. That one guy, I can't pronounce his name. Okay, these next 2. I want to go over these right quick and see what you think. And I was shocked by this. Big Bo.
I love it.
I think he'll start or have a shot at it.
That's what I was going to mention him, but I knew you was going to do that. So I let you. I think it's great. I don't look. The guy played over here at Central Phoenix. His dad's called offense. His dad played at Auburn. He played at Auburn. He didn't fit to the formula. Gus didn't use him right, so he just packed his bags and went to Oregon. And it turned out what good for him. Dan Lanning used him correctly. They won a lot of good football, big football games. They were national contenders, most all the time he was there.
They were.
They
top
struggle
5 for sure.
They struggle on defense, as most Pac-12 teams usually do.
They were a little better than I thought.
Absolutely. They were better.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing Bo play at Denver.
I am too. I did not realize. I thought he would get drafted, but I didn't realize it would be that well. All right, and Bowers to the Raiders. I'm sure you like that.
No,
because they have quarterback trouble.
Minshew?
See,
no, I didn't sneeze. Excuse me.
We think that Bowers may be the next Travis Kelce, right?
Absolutely, man. And I know he's going to just go. And remember, guys, remember this.
Yeah, he's not going to refuse to play for them.
Remember this too. These guys can transfer and move around. It's free agency, just like college football. They're going to be locked in for a year or two, but Bowers may be out and he may be playing at Jacksonville next year.
He could be.
I don't with old
He
pretty
could.
boy down there at Jaguars. I don't know.
He could be. We've already talked about Turner and the Vikings, Worthy to the KC. That was the main ones I was going to ask you about. Who's some others?
Yeah, McConkey. Where did he?
I did not see where. I
I've
know he
seen where
did
he
get
went.
drafted, though.
I seen where he went.
Oh, lad. I'm proud of that.
I know, man. Ain't that awesome? MCCO, KY McConkey to Lad McConkey. The Chargers traded up. The Patriots. Okay, the Chargers traded up with the Patriots to begin round 2 and took Georgia wide receiver Lad McConkey with a number 34 overall pick in the 24. So Friday night, the Bolts sent numbers 37 and number 110 to New England in exchange for number of pick 34 and 137. McConkey is a top 10 wide receiver prospect in this year's draft.
Lad McConkey. Well, who all got from Alabama now? And we're very proud of McConkey. We thought him and Bowers were fantastic. Terry and Arnold. Where did Kool-Aid end up going?
Saints.
Okay.
I like that.
Did Jace McClellan went to the – hold on, I got it right here.
Falcons.
So he's probably going to be Bijan Robin, or he'd be the third back.
Mm-hmm.
Did
Will Rickard's going to the Vikings to go up there and play.
I think that's a good pick.
And then the Jets get the Jalen Key. Key was he got to play a good bit. So
I'm surprised he got drafted.
I know.
I'm
glad
from
he did.
Some others from Georgia? Did any of those running backs get Kenny Milton or Kendall Milton or Kenny McIntosh get drafted?
Will Rickard, talked about him to the Vikings. We talked about Turner, Arnold, Kool-Aid. Broswell to the Buccaneers. Burton,
Oh, wow.
Burton goes to the Bengals.
Yeah, I did see where Burton got drafted.
10 selections across. Since 2009, Alabama has produced 133 draft picks. They've had
Braswell got drafted, huh?
They have had, this is a crazy fact. In 2019, Alabama had 21 first-round picks. 21?
Since 2019.
No, since then. Since 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 6 years,
they've had
21 picks.
That's
so
3.5, 4, nearly 4 years.
Nearly 4 a year. And it showed that Auburn has had only 20 all-time first-round picks. So you're curious, like, well, but Auburn still hangs in there and beats Alabama sometimes.
Yeah.
That's just at a good game planning, sheer will, and Alabama sometimes not wanting to play up to expectations. But that's why
you play the game.
That's why, yes, you play the game. That's why Alabama usually kind of leads that series. I'm just being – they just have – I ain't going to try to have a history class here, but –
they got the dogs.
Well, Tuscaloosa was the capital of the state during the Civil War, and they built houses down there. And just population-wise, that's just kind of how it went. Stetson Bennett.
Did A.D. Mitchell? I didn't see where he got drafted. I'm sure he did.
Yep, let's go through them. Powers.
I saw where Ricky Pearsall got drafted pretty.
Report.
Ricky Pearsall from Florida. Very good receiver. Xavier Legette from South Carolina went in the first round.
Let's see here. Okay, Mims Bengals went round 118. Bullard went to the Packers.
I
Their
did
safety.
see where Javon Bullard went.
One of their inside, their lineman, Van Pran, lineman, he went to the Bills. Smith, that safety, he's at Tampa Bay. Dejon Edwards have no pick on that. Rosemary Jack Saint don't have nothing.
He didn't get picked.
Kendall Milton, really?
Didn't get picked? Wow. So they'll sign as free agents.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And that means they can still be great just because you didn't get drafted.
Yeah, don't think that as a knock. Bob Bowers, though, to the Raiders. And, of course, Memes to the Bengals, Bullard to the Packers. Then that corner, Lassiter, he's going to go play he went second round. He's going to go play for Houston.
Lassiter
Texans.
did.
I like him.
Yes, very good.
So that's not a
Did Will Shipley get drafted?
I don't think.
Or is he back? God, he can't be back.
No.
That's the only other one. I saw where one of the linebackers from Michigan got drafted, one of the good ones.
Did Auburn have any guys go?
Auburn did not have a lot go. They did have some players go, but
I
not
don't
a
think
lot.
they had any. Their team is just a mess. People, y'all got to remember, Gus did nothing but sit on his hands last year, and then Harsin created
Harsin didn't do very good.
Terrible recruiting.
Yeah.
Terrible recruiting. The Eagles selected running back Will Shipley with 127th overall pick.
So he went 4th round, huh? 3rd, 4th round?
Going to the Eagles. The Eagles line running back and for trading back to the 4th round.
Eagles are loaded.
Man.
Understatement of the year. The Eagles are loaded. The Eagles has landed.
I like Shipley. I think he'll be fine.
They obviously liked him at Pro Day if he went in the 3rd or 4th round.
He'll be a fine quality player to play anywhere because he's just a guy that's going to show up. He's going to – when you go to check on his iPad to make sure he's doing film study, he's doing it. He's doing it. He's not going to be Kyler Murray. He's just playing Xbox, and then the coaches are wondering why, they're trying to trade him off because he's a turd.
So I'm sitting here 2-3 years ago wondering why Kool-Aid's Mr. Football. Now he's a professional.
He's a saint.
And I hope him best. And what we don't realize, he just got to cover good. He don't have to make 100 tackles.
No, you're pro now, man. Just do your job.
That's one of the most coveted positions on pro teams is a lockdown corner.
Yeah, just go do your job and get some, knock some balls out of the air, keep some guys from scoring. And when you tackle, make good tackles and take pride that you played at Alabama and was the last corner, from the greatest coach to ever do it. You got to play for him for his last year.
Oh, yeah. Nick Saban got drafted to coach the New England Patriots.
Yeah, he's going to coach the USFL team. He took a job out there. He's going to coach McCarron's Battlehawks next year.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I think he's done. All I keep hearing about is how much he loves being done.
Yeah, he's at the draft talking about, he's clapping for the guys, some of his picks going, and
he's already getting props for being
for
being a good guy to have on your.
Anything that he's going to do, he's going to study it.
Yes,
he's going to do a good job at it.
He may be watching film right now.
I would bet he is.
Maybe not now.
I bet he is. He's a creature of habit. Yeah. And what do you do on Sundays?
I mean, he may be when Terry's like, "What are you doing?" Well, I got to have this ready. We're doing a show next weekend. Yeah,
I want to work a little bit. I like to work a little bit each day. I don't try to just pile it on like 3 days before.
Well, now Trent Dilfer said that when he was an analyst on ESPN, 4 hours a day.
It's grueling.
4 hours a day.
Joel Klatt, Kurt Herbstreit, all those guys have said how I think it was Herbstreit, him and who's the black guy that talks with a little bit of accent that played maybe at Florida.
Acho?
No, the older guy that's always on the show with them.
I cannot think of his name.
I'm talking about. Kind of got like a British accent nearly.
Yeah. I know.
Them two, they said we slept in the room on couches. Mm-hmm. We had like 4 TVs on.
Yeah. They don't just walk in there.
No. So like we sit around and talk about, man, boy, if we ever got us a spot here, Matt and Todd go take on a show here, and that's why it's good to do this and start out and do this and be humble and really know if you really want to put in the time. Because I spent probably on research for everything I've done today. I'm gonna say I've took 4 or 5, maybe 4 hours. I'll spend 4 hours, and some of it's through the week, and then more of it's usually.
I've spent some time too.
Most of it's Friday or Saturday because I get my ideas through the week, and then we try to kind of narrow it down to what we're going to talk about. Or no, we don't NASCAR. Do we want to talk about? We didn't do Talladega last week. We didn't even mention it. I don't know. We got one person that probably watches.
Nobody knows the guy. I don't even know the guy that won it. They said he won 6 races.
But Michael Jordan's team won it.
Yeah.
And that's the news you got from it. Michael Jordan's, team won.
They said he was just as excited about it as he'd ever been about it, which I find that hard to believe.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But, these guys spend a lot of time in doing media and they sleep on the couch. So if God's going to bless us to do that, are you ready to spend 4 or 5 hours a day?
Every day. Now,
doing this.
Somebody'd be like, well, that's all Dilford has to do. No, that's not all he had to do. He had to do that on top of his work.
Bird's even like Saban commentating during the draft.
Yeah,
he's going to do a good job at it. He's going to spend time in doing it, and anything that's worth doing is worth doing right. And he's old school, more old school than me.
I just hope he don't come and want that PA job at Cedar Bluff.